Hi there, Jaden here. Welcome to this wonderful Christmas video. I did say there will be a Christmas video. I finally kept my promise. Anyways, back to it. You might even ask what this is even about. Well, allow me to explain. Somewhere halfway in November, I thought of making a Christmas video because I really felt like making one. And making videos kinda take a while to make. However, I couldn't think of anything Christmassy for one. No art month challenges, no Christmas prompts, until it came to me. Why not give some of my friends that I've known for quite some time some art presents by drawing their OCs? So I went ahead and DM'd some of them, and they have given me permission to add them to this video. And after doing that, and asking them to at least show one or two of their characters they have, and describe what they are doing in the artwork, I went and made Christmas art gifts for 7 of my friends of their OCs. And again, I asked what they are doing in the artwork, just to spice things up, make things more chilling. I have no idea what I'm going with this. Anyways, I started a list of starting from the prompt that's easiest all the way down to the hardest. It's like I had my own nice list. That's kinda nice. So, I will show you guys the process of these wonderful Christmas art gifts. So, grab some cookies, some Christmas treats, and maybe a nice hot cup of cocoa, because I hope you guys like it. Now let's get started! Let's start off with what I think is the easiest gift. The first one is for Conic/Cameron the Glaceon. Conic is what we always call him. And what he wanted for his gift was his Glaceon Sona to be wearing a dark blue navy scarf with those Pokemon Mystery Dungeon badges. Okay, quick heads up, I have never drawn any Pokemon before, nor have I drawn a Glaceon. But I did tell each of my friends that I was open for anything, since it's their Christmas gifts. For the process of this gift, when he mentioned about the badge that he wanted in this artwork, I pictured it as him wearing it on his scarf, with a smirk on his face as if he is showing off. So I drew him sitting down, but having one of his paws hovering over the badge that is attached to his scarf. Also, I drew the most simple dungeon badge because it looks simple. Plus, he did recommended that, so that's good to hear. Drawing the Glaceon Sona was very simple, but after lining and coloring it, I felt like this piece was incomplete. So I added a little touch up to the piece. To do that, I added some extra ice glaciers for special effect. And because since Glaceons are known for being an ice type, I figured I'd give it to the theme, as well as some windy fog and some snow. I think the fun part of drawing this piece was the ice, like how I drew them into unknown shapes, as well as having fun with the shading and lighting. Even though I don't have any knowledge of drawing Pokemon, I think I did a very nice job on this first Christmas gift, and it did look pretty cool. Okay, that was a pun intended there. This next gift is for JGamer211. He wanted his 3 Sonic OCs to be coming out of a giant emblem, just like those classic Sonic games. It was supposed to be like at least 1 or 2 characters, but what the heck, I decided why not go with all of his 3. But this is the only artwork that has 3 characters. Anyways, I kinda had a bit of a challenge with this one, since they have to be coming out of this circulum emblem and how the characters are going to be placed. So I gotta start on the bases first, and see how it goes. I sketched down the characters based on where they are placed. The character in the middle is Sona with a white fox on the left side and the echidna on the other side. I don't know these characters at all, but I posed them to portray how they should come out of this emblem. The sketching wasn't hard, but I just had to make sure that each one is somewhat evenly placed on the emblem. Also, in case you ask, yes, I have drawn Sonic OCs before in the past, so I kind of had the advantage. But side note, Sona was a bit more complicated because, well, he's the only one who has like an outfit with accessories. But I'm not gonna shame on his fashion design. It does look cool. But after lining and coloring all 3 of the characters, I went and colored and decorated the emblem. At first, I was just going to make it a blank one, but I figured why not I add some decoration around it. and because it would fit for the background. I know J Sona has something to do with space, so I figured I would make it an outer space background. I did have a fun time with this background because I was making when it comes to space, I would just mix like a bunch of different colors to show the outskirts of space. Oh, and with some stars. Can't have space without those. Now with this piece fully finished, despite being my second artwork, it was kind of a challenge. But this one is definitely out of this world. The third gift is for Karubo2568, and he wanted his character Spark to be preparing Christmas dinner. Oh boy. I will say that I may have overdone this piece, but I think it was worth it. You'll see why. Again, having advantage on drawing his Sonic character, since I drew him before, but also having a disadvantage on the area that he was in. I had the idea of Spark to be in the process of making Christmas dinner, for like an upcoming Christmas party or something like that. I mostly focused on the background first before I got started on the easy part, which is his character. Since he is making Christmas dinner, and since this piece is probably like gonna be on Christmas, I figured I added some Christmas decorations in the kitchen. Just thought I would give it the theme of Christmas. I just said that. Rather than just Spark making one thing, I thought of adding some extra food in the art to show that he's been cooking. There's a tray of brownies and a turkey in front of him, and in the background you can see a cooked book, but with also a cooked ham. And whatever he's mixing, I don't know, just imagine what he's also making next. Also, to show what he's been cooking, I added a robe that you can't see, but it says Kiss the Cook. Yeah, something like that, just letting you all know. Now, the next touch to what thought it was a fun little game was the coloring. I went and experimented on making the area almost having a similar color palette to Spark here. I don't know, I guess I just thought of some houses almost having the same color palette with characters. I don't know, I was just into the zone. Although for the Christmas decorations, like the small tree and the garlands, they were supposed to have like extra things like ribbons or ornaments, but I didn't do that because I was a coward. But they are still here, so that counts. Plus there's Christmas lights in the background, so that supports the theme. Even though I felt like I overdid it, I think this is a very nice piece, and I can't wait for Christmas so that I can eat all the food. Great, now I'm hungry again. Let's move on from the topic of food, or I will get really hungry. The fourth gift is for Lightning Thunderbolt, and he wanted his Sona to be riding on his extreme gear to what he calls the Bolt Blade. Cool name for a gear, by the way. The one thing that I love is extreme gears. Before I got started on the drawing, I looked up some skateboard poses for references. Since extreme gears are kind of like skateboards, this isn't the first time that I've drawn this character before, but I still struggle to draw him to this day. But with the ref he provided, it looked like it could fit well for the theme here. I was trying to think of a cool pose for his character to be in when riding the extreme gear, but I played the coward card and changed it to another one that can show his gear and his body as well. I had to look more closely at the extreme gear that he provided to me, so that way I can know what I had to work with. But before I got to drawing the gear first, I drew Lightning with the pose of him being on it. Still kind of a challenge to draw him, but at least he's much more easier than the extreme gear I had to draw. That's because it has been a while since I drew extreme gears. Okay, I was still playing the coward card on the gear, because on his extreme gear, he had a supersonic platform on the very top of the gear, and I immediately couldn't do it. Lightning, if you see this, I am so sorry I couldn't add your pattern. I'm a coward, okay? The fifth gift is for a good friend of mine, and that is Asher the Lambie. Hi Asher, you little gremlin. They wanted their VTuber model that they received to be opening presents with my little buddy Goob. Okay, I'm going to be honest. I was kinda scared of making this gift, because I never drawn a VTuber model in my life before. It's because of how they have so much detail into like their outfits, their like body parts and stuff, but might as well give it a try since it is a Christmas gift. I got the basics down on how the piece will turn out to be before I drew the characters. When it came to this prompt, when I saw it mentioning opening presents, I felt like it would be a nice time to open them in the morning, and also wearing comfortable pajamas. So for Asher's model, I drew them in cozy pajamas, because I didn't want to draw their outfit in the reference. Again, I'm so sorry, Asher! But Merry Christmas! Speaking of them, I made them have a wonderful moment with my little buddy Goob opening presents together. I drew Asher to look happy in their gift, because inside the gift is like a little lamb plush from a good old friend of theirs, who I will not say. I wasn't going to make them open it, but I feel like that wouldn't fit the prompt at all. Oh, and for Goob, he got a box of coal, because he was naughty! Oh, and for the background, I didn't have any plan on what the background was going to be. I just made a room that might go well for Asher. I don't know, I trusted my gut, and I trusted the process as well. Despite not drawing any VTubers as much, I will say that this piece went well. It was even a push for me to, I don't know, like drawing a VTuber. Maybe I'll draw more VTubers one day. But for now, let's say that this one is like a practice. And a first. This next one is for an amazing artist that loves foxes. Oh wait, I'm spoiling it before I show the spade paint. Anyways, this gift is for Scarlet Euphoria, and she wanted her OC Mocha to enjoy a nice cup of coffee while eating some Christmas cookies. Alright, it has been a while since I've drawn one of her foxes, but I'm glad I get to try it again. Seeing this prompt would definitely fit for the idea that I had in mind. So when I pictured Mocha having coffee and eating cookies, I think of Mocha relaxing by the window, watching the snow fall. Now, I never drew Mocha before, and I had a little struggle with their body proportions. However, it almost felt like it's also easy to draw this fox. Also, I love the color palette. At first, I was going to make the plate of cookies on the chair, but I thought it'd be a much more cuter idea for his tail to hold a plate of cookies instead, making the cookies like hover closer to Mocha. I tried to make sure that it was around nighttime by making the room a bit dark, but also having some light reflecting from the window inside the room, just to make it show that Mocha is having a great time enjoying some treats in the nighttime. Speaking of that, I made the Christmas cookies, well, Christmas themed. You know, like a Christmas tree, candy cane, ornament, a stocking, and the one Mocha is eating is a star that goes on top of the tree. Oh, and for the background, outside the window, I didn't even try, but I wanted to make it look like it was like a blazing snowstorm. I don't know, I just wanted to make it have like a winter-themed background. Plus, I think it would blend in as well for having a good time indoors while enjoying the snowfall. I definitely had a great time making this piece, and maybe I should try drawing foxes more often. In case I drew one of Scarlet's foxes one day. The final gift is for the final boss of this video. This last gift is for Lyrexus, and he wanted his OC Jaden to be in like a rooftop platform hunting demons. Well, he just told me information about him and he just suggested about that, so I just did that. And when I say final boss, it's like a way for me saying that his characters, they look complicated to draw. Well, for me, this is just me saying this. And drawing his character Jaden, I know, also having the same name as me, it's gonna be weird saying my name for this character. Anyways, like I did with the other gifts, I went and focused on the background first, and then I got to the basis of the character's pose, because I feel like this pose would definitely fit in for this gift. After getting the bases down, I went into focus on the sketching of Jaden right here. And Lyrexus mentioned that Jaden can use any kind of weapon from like a knife to a gun, So I went ahead and used like both, like him using one knife and then him using a gun. Also, when he mentioned about hunting demons, I just see him like being surrounded by, I don't know, 1 or 2, 4 demons. His character has so much detail, especially on the markings on his jacket. I wasn't going to add them, but I feel like, nah, he would feel like naked, and yeah, plus the coat does look awesome. I had to like draw it in. I couldn't edit the marks that was on like his coat. I went ahead and like trace it over and then rescale it to where the pattern of the coat is, to where the position of the coat is on this pose that he's doing right now. Also, quick note, I never drawn a freaking gun before, but I did give him my shot. Anyways, for the demons, I was going to make it like some dark shadowy ones, but I figured, no, that's too bland. So I figured I added some very different colored demons. Also, you could see that one demon is dead. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, when I saw this prompt of him like being a demon hunter, I feel like the best time to hunt demons would be around the night time. And to also provide that he's on a rooftop, you can see in the background that he's somewhere on a rooftop, and the buildings in the background can provide that he's like on, like at the top of one of the buildings. And of course, I definitely had fun drawing the night sky. This last piece definitely felt like a final boss with so much detail, well, mostly on the character. Now, even though it's the last gift, I will say that this one definitely went well, and I think I did well on drawing Jaden as well. Maybe I'll draw some of his characters more often, so that way I might get used to drawing them in the future. But yeah,